I'm Marni Hughes. Thank you for tuning in to my Missing with Marni YouTube channel. We cover missing persons cases from across the country, no matter their race, their background, their circumstances. Every missing person matters. We have covered hundreds of cases, and I've spoken with hundreds of family and friends, starting with Gabby Petito's disappearance. Gabby's case is tragic, and she deserved all of the attention that her case got so that she could have justice and that her family could have closure. Every other missing person deserves that same type of coverage, and those families deserve the same type of attention. There are thousands of cases that go unnoticed, that don't get the coverage and attention they deserve. That's where we come in. Our case today is Ashley Marie Williams, 28 years old. She disappeared in August of 2025. Her parents and the private detective helping them joined me for an emotional conversation. They are frustrated with police, and you're going to hear them talk about Skid Row after they got some information that Ashley reached out to a mission on Skid Row. They say because of that, they feel like her case has been stereotyped and she isn't getting the attention that she needs, and this case isn't being treated with urgency by authorities. They say that is not Ashley. A little bit about her case before you hear from them. She was always in touch with her family and friends, calling or texting. The last text her dad got from her, Ashley wanted some money. She needed some help. He didn't hesitate. He sent her the money. She never picked up the cash. When they didn't hear from her, that's when they knew something instantly was wrong, and they did what every family would do. They reported her missing. They flew to Los Angeles, her mom and dad did, to search the area themselves. It has been months. Here is where things stand now. Sherry and Dwayne, thank you so much for joining me again, for talking about this. I left the last time that we talked just heartbroken for the both of you, for what you're going through. You both are very brave, and no one should have to live the nightmare that you both are, not knowing where she is. So anything that we can do to help, and if that means continuing to talk and get her story out there, that's what we're going to do. So thank you both. And in a moment, we'll talk to Moses Castillo. He's the retired LAPD detective who you guys have been working with. And Moses is such a fierce advocate for missing families. And it means so much that all of you are willing to talk. Let's just start by talking about Ashley, and just tell people about her. Who she is, what her passions are, what she wants out of life.
Ashley she's a very fun-loving, just she's a lovely child. She really is. I mean, she likes to laugh. Um, she was so fascinated by the Mandarin language as a kid. She learned Mandarin. She learned how to write it. She was actually in college to learn Mandarin. That was her major, and she wanted to teach English as a second language to Asian children. So she was very fun loving, just you know enjoy to laugh, love to laugh, and just she was a joy. She was a joy.
Ashley is 28 years old. Is she still
Yes.
28? Yep. When's her birthday?
May 2nd.
Okay. Missing since August. Can you guys give me a timeline of when you last talked to her and where she was at the time?
I spoke with her maybe that Tuesday or Wednesday, but she would text. Either we would communicate by phone or by text, and she had texted me the morning of August 31st.
29. It was the 29th.
Was that the Friday?
The 29th.
Okay.
It was a Friday.
Yeah, that Friday, and asking me to send her some money, which that's what I always did, and I sent her the money, and by midday when I checked, she hadn't received it, hadn't because I sent it to her by Apple Cash, and I'm able to see when she accepts the money, and she hadn't accepted it. So I sent her a message. I sent you this money. Never got any response. So the last message I got from her It was maybe about 6 or 7 o'clock that morning, which would have been, um, I guess, about maybe 3 or 4 in the morning, which was not uncommon, just to make sure that I sent in the money for the next day. But she never accepted it. So
Okay. Ashley was in Los Angeles at the time. How long had she been living there since moving from Ohio?
she moved from Ohio. I want to say it was in 2022. She went to Los Angeles to get a new start. I was um, didn't want her to go, to be totally honest with you. Um, but she was pretty adamant about wanting to get a new start, and that's what she set her mind on, and that's what she did.
Who was she living with when she moved there? Did she know anyone when she arrived?
We have she has family there, but she didn't live with anyone. No friends, no family. Um, she actually didn't trust after her trauma in Cleveland. She did not trust a whole lot of people. So she just not was not the type of person that would have been in groups or crowds of people.
Hmm. Tell me about that and what happened in Ohio. Whatever you can share about how she was assaulted, that traumatizing event.
Her one of her good friends, fiance, um, had drugged her and sexually assaulted her. And when she tried to tell everybody, because she said that um, when she came to, she saw that he was on top of her, and she pushed him off of him. So um, when she told her friend who was there, she said what happened, and she said her friend was acting groggy and this wasn't acting herself. As it turns out, this young lady was drugged as well. But he denied it. He said that he didn't do anything. She was making it up. And then when I found out about it, I immediately took her to the hospital to have them to take a rape kit, to be able to to gather evidence, and that's what they did. They did a rape kit on her, and when it came back, it had his DNA. And so all the people that she had known for all these years that she had turned against her, said that they didn't believe her. But once the rape kit came back, then all of a sudden people was like, "Oh well, we didn't know. We're sorry." But at that point, the damage had been done. So a lot of the people that she had known for 10 years. I mean, some of her friends she had since she was in first and second grade. And once the rape kit came back, the uh, the assailant, he was in the military at the time, and he had deployed with his unit to the Middle East, and they actually shipped him back. And he pled guilty. He pled guilty for admitted it and asked for forgiveness. Um, but the judge didn't go forward and sent him to prison.
So he served time. Did she leave while he was still behind bars? And is he the reason and all
Yeah,
of the friends, everything, the reason why
yeah,
she needed a fresh start?
Right.
yeah.
And Mari, one thing I would like to say is that when we told the story originally and it had been aired, um, I know we were getting questions back from people, and I think it was kind of aired a little wrong, like this was her ex.
Hmm.
This was not her ex. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that we want to make very, very, very clear, that she did not have any involvement with this person. He was not her boyfriend. She did not know him. He became a friend group of her friends. And as my husband said, that it was her friend that she trusted, fiance, and he drugged them both and took advantage of our daughter. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure that that get out there and that story is very much so cleared up.
Yeah. And I think you guys, part of, and correct me if you disagree, but part of the reason that story is important because it speaks to what Ashley had gone through. It explains why she wanted to go someplace else, how she landed in Los Angeles. And when I talk about our missing cases, oftentimes cases are cast aside because of things people have gone through. And if the facts are wrong, people are less sympathetic to the case and it gets less attention. That's why I think it's so important that you guys share every part of Ashley's story in the hopes of finding her. And I mean, your poor daughter went through such a horrific experience. It makes it even more important that
Yes.
people pay attention, that know that she is hurting. And when she went to LA, she went to LA with a lot of baggage. And so that makes a person lost. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. Anything else about that you want to talk about before I kind of move on to LA?
Yes. And we also, it breaks our heart, as you made very clear, that because of her experience, we really, really feel strongly that this is why working with LAPD, that we are being ignored, that our story is not being really taken serious because of one, we knew, and I'm not sure if Ashley really even knew the area that she was living in, that they want to focus on Skid Row. That was not our daughter, and we want that to be out there very much so. And that's sure that footage to be stopped, to be shown, because that was not, as it been proven, that our daughter was never at Skid Row. We went to multiple shelters down there, and she never showed up there. We went to other areas looking. We want those areas to be shown too. We are going to be holding a prayer visual very soon for our daughter. We want that footage to be shown, not Skid Row. Our daughter was not Skid Row. She was not a drug person. She was not, never been homeless in her life. She was not a girl of the street. So that's very, very important to us, to the narrative, the story that's being told about our daughter, that is told correctly, and who she is, that we know her as. And talking to her every day on the phone as she's been out to LA, never once had we got any red flags or anything to display that all of this was going on. So that's one of the stories that our heart yearned to tell the narrative correctly. She is not Skid Row. She never was. She did not grow up like that. She did not live like that. So if that part cannot be shown anymore, that will help us, because that's not who she was. And it feel like that the story and the narrative is being made, that because she got information about Skid Row, now the narrative is she's Skid Row. That's not her. That wasn't her.
And I know time is limited. I think the part that bothers me is that people have a tendency to look at these things as cause and effect. They see people, they hear Skid Row, they hear these things, and they automatically assume that a person, oh well, that makes sense that she would come up missing, and so they don't take it as serious. Now, if she was in downtown Los Angeles and I don't want to make it into a black and white issue, but if she was not a person of color in downtown Los Angeles, then all of a sudden, oh, then this is we can't wrap our minds around this. We don't get it, but it's easy for them to spin this narrative and make people think that she is something or somehow less than that. My daughter, she was a very bright young lady. How many kids teach themselves Mandarin? How many kids do that?
Mm-hmm.
She
And wanted
actually,
to teach others, right? I mean,
yes,
she wanted to be a teacher.
yes.
I think this is a good place to bring in Moses Castillo to talk about kind of the LA area and that part of the investigation. Moses, you all connected early on. Um, there is a negative connotation, no doubt about it. I mean, from the movies to, just historically in LA with Skid Row. Clear up why was Skid Row even a place that was on your radar when it came to Ashley's disappearance?
First of all, thank you again, Marni, for having this very important series on missings. And I like when you say every missing person matters, regardless their background, their circumstances. It's because of these families that are going through this. I mean, it's like going through grief when you lose someone, and there's so many unanswered questions adds to that grief. And so, thank you for that. But absolutely, I agree with the Williams. But we had to explore that possibility because Ashley, at the very beginning, when she lost contact with her family, according to her cell phone records, she dialed a local mission in that area in the Skid Row. So that had to be explored just to make sure it wasn't there. And sometimes when we show these flyers to somebody in the Skid Row community, they'll say things because they'll say they just want to appear to be helpful. Oh yeah, I see her, or whatever. And that started something that we were chasing a ghost. But it was something that we needed to explore. We needed to make sure we uh, exhausted every possible lead. And I got to tell you, I agree with them that I don't believe she was ever in Skid Row because she would have stood out and she would have been able to be found even now because I had boots on the ground. I had LAPD officers that know me that work at Skid Row. I had a special team known as the LA Skid Row running team. That's a club that runs there every week with many people from the community, and nobody has seen her. And so I do believe that we exhausted every possible lead. That's why this right here is so important because all it takes is that one individual who says, "Hey, I know Ashley, I know where she is. Let me get her to you," and that's what we're hoping this will do.
Yeah. So take me to the Los Angeles area. Dwayne, you guys did go out there, as Moses said. Where did you start? I mean, I would imagine you start with where she was living. Where was that? And for folks who are watching, give us a sense of what's around there, and we'll begin there.
I don't remember the name of the street. I wrote
Crawford.
Crawford. Yeah, we went to Crawford. The ironic thing was that initially we called the police and they did a welfare check, and they were given a name
Individual.
of an individual that was supposed to be the house manager. Then when they went a second time, this individual still wasn't available. So in all the times when the police went down there, they were the LA detectives, they were given the information that this person didn't exist, that this person wasn't, didn't even work there. And so this is the information that the LA PD was going on. Now, how ironic that when we went down there, after being told by the LAPD that this person didn't exist, that we saw someone at the house who not only confirmed that this person exists, but gave us a phone number and we talked to the guy. And we gave the information to the LAPD. Our phone calls, we've called them, we sent them messages. None of this has been returned. It's like something's wrong when one person says that he doesn't exist. We actually talk to him. We know that he exists. We're told that there's several owners of this property. There, something's just it isn't. Something isn't right. I'm not a detective. I don't claim to be a detective, but I think that anyone can see that something isn't right, and I'm extremely disappointed in the police response. Extremely disappointed. Moses has been stellar. He's spoken to people. He's followed up, but it's just that Moses can't do it by himself. He needs
Yeah.
the cooperation and he needs the LAPD to really step up and do their job. That's what
Moses,
needs.
I think that what Dwayne is feeling, so many families feel, is that, police don't take their case seriously. They don't hear back from them. Um, we always hear they're busy, they're working on it, it's an investigation, so they can't talk about it. Can you speak to that with your experience working as a detective within the department? And what can families like the Williams do to try to get more attention on the case, to try to get a call back, to follow leads? What's your advice?
Well, it's fortunate for me that I still have contacts here with the LAPD, and I was able to get them to meet with the Williams, the detectives assigned, and they'll share with you their experience on how that went. But it didn't go well in the sense that the detectives were trying to paint the picture. This is not the only case we're working on. We have several other cases that we're working on. So that's not a message you want to tell a family who's doing everything they can to find their loved one. Second, I think that you do have to, scream, holler, get their attention because the squeaky wheel does get the attention, and that's what's happening here. But it only went so far. And once we exhaust every lead, uh, I hate to say it, but it run into a dead end, if you will. And I'm being very careful when I say that. I don't want to. I don't believe that she has faced the worst case scenario. I do believe she's out there. I do believe she may be suffering some sort of mental health crisis where she just doesn't want to be talked to or located or be connected for whatever reason that may be. But I do believe that law enforcement, if they don't suspect foul play, they're not going to take it seriously. And here in this case, the family's telling them we suspect foul play because it's not like my daughter to not connect with us.
Mhm.
And it's just one of those things where, there was a case not too long ago. I think you guys also covered it, the Hana Kobayashi case, missing female, beautiful from Maui, Hawaii. That got media attention all over the place. But actually, it's been tough to even get anybody to cover it. So I'm thankful for your local station, KTLA, your local partner in Los Angeles, and you guys have been doing really everything you can to bring attention to this. But I think the laws need to be changed where it mandates that law enforcement agencies across this nation take these cases a lot more seriously, at least for the first 72 hours before they exhaust every lead. But what happens is the initial phone call to the police, some of them even say, well, you have to wait 24 hours. It's not true. You don't have to wait 1 minute. So sometimes it's that initial contact that creates a delay, which can be very costly. So in this environment, I think if LAP would have taken this a lot more seriously from the very beginning, maybe we got a better chance and opportunity to find her.
That's such an important message to reiterate, is that within the first 24 hours of someone going missing, no one knows them better than their family, right? Nobody knows Ashley better than you guys, her parents. I think about each of us and those that we love the most. We know, like, your gut tells you, like, this is wrong, something happened. Um, and within those first few days is your best chance, I would guess, to try and locate them and get the word out. What do you guys think about what Moses has said and your meeting with the detective? I know that was frustrating.
Well, it was very alarming for us. It was very heartbreaking for us to sit there face to face with them and to have a notebook slammed down in our face to tell us about how many other cases that they have. My heart go out to each and every person that was in that book and their families, because nobody know more than the person who experienced this firsthand, what it felt like. Many a times I've seen many missing people on the internet, on television. I empathize with that. But now I'm on the other side of the table where is a different feeling, is a different perspective of how you feel. You feel, I would not wish this on my worst enemy. We had to beg and plead, and only through Moses we were able to get a press release, not a press conference. As another young lady was missing, and in 3 days they did all of that. We're not here to say that color matter, but through this experience, it does. It does. And when we can get through this, we will be getting a family together of all missing people to go to the Capitol, to go to the White House, to go to the lawmakers. Laws have to be changed for
Must be
missing
changed.
people, of how we can't even get them to ping the phone. That's ridiculous.
We could have found out her phone was on for how many days after she was missing. If they had pinged her phone, that would have told us where she was. I mean, how ridiculous is that?
Yeah. Is that because of privacy issues, Moses? I mean, that's what we hear in a lot of cases, that
That's
she's
what
an
they
adult.
say.
It's, you guys pay for her phone, right?
We
Yeah.
pay for the phone. And yes, that may be, as far as HIPAA, we know that's in a lot of arena. We're in healthcare. We know that. But there should be some exceptions. If you have a police report, if this person is missing, there should be some exception to the rules, and the laws need to be changed. That's what we're going to be fighting for. That's what we know. And we do believe that she is not missing willfully. Someone have our daughter. As you said, nobody know your child better than you do for the most part of it. We know that our daughter would not go this long or even that long without calling us, contacting us for something. Someone have our daughter. She is not missing because she don't want to be found. That's not the case. She is missing because someone have her. And I wish that it would be taken so much more serious.
Yeah. There are power in numbers. The internet is a tool that we have found to be incredibly helpful in these cases. Moses, you know, the more people that see and hear Mr. and Mrs. Williams talk about Ashley, the more we show her face, the better it is in her case to try to bring her home and bring some answers. So my hope is that on the other end of this, somebody in LA or elsewhere sees it, calls in, knows something. If somebody has seen something, tell me about the evidence that you guys have, last known locations, did the phone ping, what you want people to know about the case. Anybody who's watching who knows anything, what we have on Ashley and what they can do. I'll start, Moses, with you, and then we'll hear from the Williams as we end our conversation.
Yeah, I believe Ashley could be anywhere in California or anywhere in the United States for that matter at this point. And Ashley is the type of individual too that when she sees somebody in need, she'll do what she can to help. And to illustrate that, about a month before she actually went missing, she was in the El Monte area in the LA County, I think heading towards one of her last known addresses in the city of Pomona. At this bus depot, there was this young teenager, about 13, 14 years old. He had his cell phone with him and it died. And he needed to get a hold of his grandmother to let him know, hey, I'm here, come pick me up. He approached Ashley, and Ashley allowed him to use her phone to call the grandmother to connect. The reason we know that is because as the Williams family were going through her phone, they dialed these numbers, and this kid said, oh yeah, that was this grandmother answered, oh yeah, that was my grandson who used her phone, and give us a sense of her interaction with people, whether they're strangers or not. And I think this is important because we want you to know that if Ashley was the type of individual that wanted to get involved in some sort of criminal activity, that's not her. And so I do concur with the Williams that I do suspect that she's in harm's way, and we need to find her sooner than later.
Okay. How were you guys able to look at the phone numbers? Is it like in a call log through your provider? And my second question is, we have a few pictures of Ashley. She looks a little bit different in each one. What is the most recent description of her, and anything else that would help people identify her?
Well, Ashley had lost a lot of weight because she had went to vegan. And anybody know anything about vegan, once you cut out a lot of dairy, meat, and all that, your body instantly, you lose weight. So her prom picture, which is one of my favorites, I picked a dress and I just love, that's one of my favorites of her. She was a little heavier on some of the pictures and the video of her wishing her cousin a happy birthday. That was who she was. She was the fun person, as well as somewhat being kind of shy too. But she had lost a lot of weight. And that was the one kind of with her hair with different colors. She liked to experiment with that, with her hair color. So she was, slimmer on that picture.
Okay.
But you have anything to add to that?
Talk about the tattoo on her hand.
Oh,
Yeah, she had a tattoo on her wrist, as well as we see that she had got another one on her the top of her hand with the tattoos on that.
What are the tattoos of? That's helpful.
I know the one on her wrist is a flower,
Okay.
but the one in the hand is relatively new, so I can't even tell you what that is.
Right.
Okay.
And what's your second question, Mari?
My second question was the phone log.
The
How were
phone
you
log.
able to determine who she had called?
Well, I paid the phone bill. The phone bill is in my name, so I was able to access that part of it, but just wasn't able to find out where it was last. But because I didn't have the code, but yeah, I was able to find that out, get that information.
Okay.
So
When
AT,
you guys, oh, sorry, go ahead.
so AT&T allowed us to get certain information that he was able, but because we didn't have her iCloud PIN number, we was not able to go further to be able to ping the phone, to be able to get more text messages and things like that. What I know, there's only but so much that we can say, and because we know that there's a lot of people probably hear this, and we don't even know if her attacker is listening and hearing of certain things. So we don't want to give out so much information, but there have been leads, and we're still waiting for LAPD to even pull up some of the information that could be very helpful to us, that we're waiting on that. And now we're just hearing that, they are willing, this place is willing to give us some information only if we supply them with something else. So now there's going to be another wait from LAPD, which I'm not very confident in that we're going to get it. So now we're waiting for that for now almost over a month. So I'm just so afraid. I don't want to say so much now because we don't know who all is listening. And from my understanding, hearing that when the attacker, they hear and they send certain people, planning people to get information from you, because we've gotten several calls.
Yes.
Several calls.
Tracked my daughter down in New York.
Say that again.
Someone tracked my daughter down who lives in
Okay.
New York.
Mm-hmm.
I am so afraid that, who does that? Oh, well, we want to just try to help you by stalking my family.
Yeah,
And
I'm
this
so
is what
sorry.
we're saying. The LAPD, no matter what information they get, they're not being on top of it. And that is heartbreaking. And that give us a very sour taste in our mouth of what cases are being followed, what cases they're going to push on, and what's not. But we do know, and we do believe deep in our hearts that our daughter is not willfully wanting to be missing, and someone do have her. And we're hoping that this last tip that we have, that we could be able to see that what we need to see, and LA will cooperate and do what's right.
Mr. and Mrs. Williams, I'll come back to you for final thought in just a moment. But Moses, on the police side of this, I mean, there are lots of good detectives like you, but these cases are just layer after layer of challenge, and it sounds like the Williams have run into many along the way. What do you think that the public should know about this case? And more specifically, if someone is holding Ashley, you've done this before, but you have had a message for those types of people. What would you say? What is the message? And what do you think is most important to get across about her case?
Well, I'm going to appeal to that person's human side, and that is, look, just let her go, take her to the nearest local hospital, let her get checked out, leave her there, run away, go away, and let her get reunited with her family through maybe the hospital social worker or the nurse in the emergency room. But let that happen so that the family can reunite and begin the healing process. Because not only do they have to worry about finding her, but once they find her, it's the aftermath, the healing, what's next. That could also be a very challenging part of this.
Yes.
I know that is painful for you guys to hear. I'll give you a moment for each of you to speak, to share whatever you want about Ashley. And if you could speak directly to her, I know that is hard, but sometimes helps.
Well, I would like to just plead with not only her abductor, but with everyone that's out there, the LAPD. And as I said before, and I cried to them, if it was your child, if it was your granddaughter, you would have every one of your workers and LA police out there searching. And if you can have a heart for all these missing people to do the same. But most of all, I would like to plead with anyone out there. Someone knows something, they seen something. Would you please come forth? You don't have to give your name. You don't have to do any of that. But please, she have a family who loves her, who misses her. We can't sleep. My husband having dreams every night. No family should have to suffer like this. So whoever, please, please, please let her go. If you know something, please say something. Think about your own children, your own family. And we ask that we want a search party. We need boots on the ground. And we've been asking and saying this for so long. So if people can help us, and they ask, how can we help you? This is what we need help with. People and boots on the ground. And like you said, Moses, she ain't on Skid Row. She could be anywhere in LA. We need a search everywhere in LA and nationally, because who knows?
Dwayne, do you want to say something?
I cut her umbilical cord. That was my baby. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows, either you got that crazy uncle, or that somebody knows something. They suspect something. They know something. It is something about that house. Something about that house that is there's something about that house. We went there, and Moses will tell you, Moses talked to him. He talked to this guy who people said he didn't exist. Oh, there's no will that works here. There was a woman who claimed that she owned the house, and she was the one who said it wasn't a will. And yet we talked to him. Something is not right, and like I said, why don't the detectives Follow up on that. If you were told something else, to me, that right there, if they're hiding something, that right there should mean that you should look a little deeper, ask more questions. This is this not another case. This isn't. This is somebody's child. This is somebody's child. This could be any child anywhere. If we don't stand up and hold people accountable and have these corporations and companies that's it's like AT&T work for them. Why can't you there's a missing persons report. Why can't you tell us where the phone was last? What in the world would it take for one of their kids to be missing? I bet you then they wouldn't be saying, "Oh, well, this is no." What they'll be hearing is that, "Well, we're not supposed to do this, but we'll do this for you." This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous that we get this much resistance, and all we're trying to do is find our child. Why are we getting this much resistance?
There's a vigil, Sherry, you mentioned. You want to tell us about that and when and where it is?
Well, we're working on it now. We're putting it
Okay.
together, and I can send you the actual date when we will be doing it. There are going to be people from Ohio, our hometown, that's going to be doing it at the same time that we're doing it here in Georgia, where we live, and we're all going to come together. So it's going to be videotaped, and I would love to get that, but it's going to be very soon, within the next couple weeks, that we're going to get it. And our pastor and all of that will be coming together with us with a balloon release with scriptures and prayers inside of the balloons to send up unto our Lord. And the only reason why we have not literally lost our mind is because our faith and who we believe in and trust in, and our community that's praying for us and with.
And I have to say this. Moses, you are a godsend. You are. Moses is a. Thank you.
And the last thing we'd like to say is that we know we've been searching, or somebody's been searching through her emails. And we also say that, the abductor can also pretend like they heard and answer back these emails and things like that. So we are aware of that as well, if they're listening.
Okay. You're right. Moses is a godsend. He is an angel among us. And Moses, thank you for bringing this case to our attention. And I pray that the Lord gives you all strength to cope every day with the unknown and with the nightmare that you're faced with. And I pray over Ashley that wherever she is, she's safe. And one thing I know from the bottom of my heart is that she knows how much you love her and how much you care about her. There's no doubt about that you two are the fiercest of advocates. And by being brave through your pain, by talking about it, she will feel that wherever she is. I certainly feel it. And there is a lot of power in sharing Ashley with the masses. And I can tell you there's a lot of heart out there and people who care about you guys. And I'm one of them, and Moses is one of them, and we're here to listen to you and to help you through this dark time. And I pray that Ashley is home with you soon.
Yes.
You've got my number, so let's stay in touch when the vigil happens. I want to share that video with as many people as I can. Anything that you have on the investigation, updates on evidence that you want out there, let me know, and I'll make sure I get it out there. Everybody who's watching this, I know that you feel for Mr. and Mrs. Williams, and you appreciate the work that Moses is doing. Every missing person matters. This is Ashley Marie Williams. She's 28 years old. She's a daughter. She's a friend. She's a teacher, and she is loved by her family. Please share this with your community, whether you're in Los Angeles or whether you're in New York or Chicago or across the country. Our army of people are here to support you. So thank you to you both, Sherry and Dwayne, and to Moses. Thank you. You guys are in my heart. You're in my prayers, and we will be in touch. If you know anything about the disappearance of Ashley Marie Williams, contact the Los Angeles Police Department. You can submit tips or you can call 911 if you have any information that can help in this case. If you have a comment about Ashley's case or a message that you want to send to Ashley's parents, Sherry and Dwayne, please post it below. I know that they really appreciate all of the encouragement and support. If you have a missing persons case that you want us to look into, send it to me at missingwithmarnie@gmail.com.